In this video, I want to discuss the basics of the distributive law. So in this example, we have 5 and in brackets 4 and 3. Now, what the brackets mean in mathematics is it simply means multiply. So what we want to do is take 5 and multiply it with the result of 4 and 3. Now, an easy way to do this is to say, well, 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. So 5 times 7 is equal to 35. But that's not the distributive law. What I want to show you is how we can rewrite this. So what we can do is we can say, let's take 5 and multiply that by 4. So I take the result of 5 times 4 and I'm going to add it to 5 times 3. So 5 times 4 is equal to 20, and 5 times 3 is equals to 15, and the sum of that is equal to 35. So if you compare that to saying 5 times 7, that is also equal to 35. But this is called the distributive law, where we distribute the multiplication to the numbers on the inside of that bracket. And where this becomes useful is where we need to multiply bigger values with one another. So if I say, take 27 and multiply that by 122, what you can do is you can rewrite 122 as 100 plus 20 plus 2. Now if I ask you to multiply 27 with 122, it becomes a harder task. But if I take 122 and I split it into hundreds, tens, and into its units, then it becomes an easier calculation. So I would say this is the same as saying 27 multiplied with 100. So I distribute 27 to 100. And then 27, or I add 27 multiplied with 20. And then lastly, I would add 27 multiplied with 2. And this is simple calculations. So 27 multiplied with 100 is 2,700. 27 multiplied with 2 is 54. But because I multiply with 20, I simply add the 0. And then 27 multiplied with 2 is 54. And now if I add these three values together, it's not too difficult. We'll have that is 3,294. And that's where the distributive law, which we have just learned, becomes very useful when we need to multiply larger numbers with itself. Now the distributive law is also useful when we have variables. So if I say 2 and I want to multiply it with 4 plus an unknown number, we can say the result of this is 2 multiplied with 4 plus 2 multiplied with the unknown number. And that result would be 8 plus 2 multiplied with the unknown number. How about if we have 3 values that we don't know? So in this example, we are using 3 variables. And variables are letters in the place of numbers. So they represent any value or any number that we can think of. So if we distribute this, we can say x multiplied with y. So the first number multiplied with the second unknown number. And we can add that to the first number, which is x, multiply that with z. So we don't know what these results are yet, but in this way, we can show that we can distribute the multiplication between y and z. The distributive property also becomes useful if we want to rewrite a calculation. So here we have 3 times 10 plus 3 times 3. And we notice that 3 is common. So we have taken 3 and we multiplied it with the result of 10 plus 3. So you can also reverse the calculation, and that is called factoring, or taking out a common factor, which you would learn later. And this property becomes useful when we have a calculation like 36 multiplied with 1 plus 36 multiplied with 99. So we notice that 36 is common. This is the same as saying 36 multiplied with 1 plus 99, which is 36 multiplied with 100, which is simply 3,600. But if you were to do this calculation separately, you might find it difficult to multiply 36 with 99. But by identifying the common number or the common factor, we can reverse the calculation and rewrite it in terms of brackets, and therefore have a simpler calculation, which is much easier to find.